think what's scary and confusing about bad people is that they don't think they're bad people. Like Hitler is scarier when you see him walking his dog, because it's like, wow, he doesn't think he's
that's kind of
a bad person. He's just like a guy who walks his dog and then goes and does it. To us, it's the idea that people who are, that is a spectrum, that evil and good, they're just somewhere in the middle. And yeah, the playing with that idea that there are relatable people, and this barber is a person who really respects his job and wants to kill all the drug lords, and when you show up, the first thing the barber says is, the drug lord says is, I really respect shaving. And it's gonna be hard to kill you now because it's just making it harder for the barber to kill him.
Obviously the sort of subject matter of the film is something that's very real to some extent. You know, there's like sort of the idea of these drug cartels existing in Mexico, and there is this drug war that's happening. And like, what's your sort of connection with that in making the film? Like, how do you want to sort of...
Well, I mean, it's just something that's everywhere, and you see a lot of people talk about it, and then it was just us trying to put a little break into the conversation, just to say, very simply, people think that the drug cartels are a problem, and they're not a problem, they're the result of a problem. Basically, that's how we want to put it, of course.
So I don't know if it kind of works through that sort of like disjunction maybe to this incredibly like poignant moment that's obviously happening. Was the choice of the music at the end like very deliberate? The lyrics kind of the end of thing?
Well, very much so. I mean, the lyrics are, it's a romantic song. It's a romance song about basically someone who comes to a woman in the song and says, it's like, I've come to tell you that I love you. And to us, it's a story about a barber who thinks things are black and white and comes to meet this drug lord, and they find out something about each other. So it just seems ironic in a nice way to at this moment when you know a secret about each other.
Yeah.
To put that romantic song, it would play well.
Yeah, it definitely seems like definitely the sort of leader of the drug cartel seems to like really be like testing him.
Yes.
He's really like pushing him to the absolute limit.
Yeah.
And at the end, he kind of he sort of realizes that this guy is going to be too moral and that he won't be safe under his blade every week. Is that the kind of why he feels like he's afraid?
It was more like he realizes that, yeah, kind of, yeah. It varies in interpretation, which to us it's good. I think everybody should watch it and get whatever they want from it. But to us, it was this idea that he knows that the drug lord in a way wants it to happen in a way that he doesn't even really know.
Yeah.
And when he sees it, he's like, just get another one because this one's good. So he's not gonna do it.
For the festivals that we've been to, one of the strangest things I find is that people think the barber was killed at the end.
Yeah.
No.
Did anybody?
We had like a vote.
No.
I told him.
Then when they put the bag in his head, people think that's then they're going to kill the barber. But that means they take him home because he had the bag in his head.
Yeah.
So you can see
where he's going.
And it's so interesting because and it's so true. Like, and I think sometimes people, I think it says a lot about your perspective about life. You know, like some people will say like, nah, he's gonna get killed, and that's just, it's a reflection of how you feel, and if that's how you felt it, that's fine. In the way we made it, for example, there's a thing that we almost never say this because I feel like it's cheating when you say what something was meant to be. We just try to bury it into the film. But to me, very deeply, the drug lord is tired, and he just wants to die. And we shot it like he's waiting for a barber that's just gonna do it. But you can't just say it.
He even put his head like this, actually.
Because we feel like he's a person who has enough survival that he won't die in a gunfight. But maybe there's gonna be a barber that's going to just, and that's why he just tells us, nah, fuck, this guy's not gonna do it.
This film, if I'm correct, it actually was released in 2014, and so it played on the festival circuit then, obviously this year as well. In general, what's the feedback been like from the audiences that have seen it, and have you gotten different reactions?
Mexican audiences always get more out of it because the slang is very precise, like that line where the old man says, it tastes like dick. It's the word he says in Spanish is so bad It's like a word for dick that is so like that you would never expect, and it's just full of like little words like that, and just the I don't know the texture of the language in Spanish is a lot more like I'm sure like people from Scotland get a lot more out of Trainspotting than Mexicans do, because you're like, oh, I know that guy and I can tell how that guy talks. But I mean, to us, always the rule is if at least there has to be at least one person who laughs when you cut to the drug lord looking at him. If they don't laugh, it means they're not in the movie. And Molo and I were like watching from the projection room, and when it's always like you cut to the guy looking at him and someone laughed, and it's like, okay, it works. Yeah, yeah.
It's also strange. Like Contrapelo has done very well, or it's gotten good reviews and good feedback, in international festivals outside of Mexico. And in Mexico, we hadn't been accepted to a single festival until very recently. We only got accepted to one.
Played everywhere else. We played in Taiwan first before we played in Mexico.
It's not even a month ago that we had our Mexican group. So I mean, it's a subject matter that is very sensitive. So Mexican festivals don't like to program it.
And there's a lot of opinions about it. And this case, because it's very spectral and it doesn't necessarily paint the drug lord as a completely horrible. Some people didn't want to play it. Yeah. But as long as we get a laugh when he looks at the drug lord, we're happy.
Yeah, and I mean, just preceding that moment, the moment when the sort of blood starts like raining up in the face, like that's just. I don't have any question about it, but I love it. Like it's an amazing moment. Like
it was fun to spray the actor full of blood.
Someone just sort of there.
Well, it's also that, and you have to be doing, now look like this, now look like that, and it's like, oh, I'm doing this, getting blood in my face. Yeah.
Was there like many takes on that moment?
Well, we had 2 hours to do it, and in reality, I mean, if it was like a Hollywood movie, you'd take a day to do it. So we need to make it count. Some of the spray was too thin, some was too thick, some was too hard, and it just gets in his eyes and he can't see anymore. So I was just finding just the one that would work. Yeah. It's very stressed out because you don't know if it's gonna. If the spray bottle clogs, enough times, you just are not gonna get it. So it's very tense right before you do it.
I guess that's quite good at creating this sort of tension.
Well, yeah. There's more tension behind the camera than in front.
Yep. It's fantastic. So it's just sort of happening before you even realise what it is.
Yeah.
That's how it kind of sneaks in there.
Exactly.
Because sort of violence and blood on screen is quite a hard one to deal with. Like how you just make excessive to how do you deal with it, and it really surprises.
And that's kind of the objective too. So it's not just gruesome. Exactly like it. So it sneaks up on you a little bit.
Yeah, we did some tests before the shoot.
Molo got actually sprayed with blood.
Yeah.
You just have without his shirt on and just like spray them with blood a million times. It's like, is this too thick? Is this too thin? Because you have to find out whether the blood's gonna be. Because usually Hollywood blood is very thick.
I had to throw my shirt away.
Yeah. So you have to just basically, and it blood only comes off with shaving cream, that type of blood, and you have to like rub it right away, and then if you don't do it, then you get stained, your flesh gets stained for a while. So
I'm sure there's lots of shaving cream.
Yeah. We had a lot of lying around, luckily for some reason.
Put together well.
Yeah.
That's so
We'll
great.
have a question.
Yeah, it was just to get away from the blood a bit. So it's been around a lot of festivals, you say, and then just lastly in Mexico. So what's been the most popular question that you've got at the festivals, and is it a different question in Mexico then?
We didn't go to the Mexican festival because we couldn't get to it. I don't know. I mean, usually in all festivals, because most festivals, the majority, at least half the people are filmmakers. They're always like, it's the Kickstarter question. I think it's like, how did you get the funds? How did you, where? Because everybody wants to make, you want to make your movie. So I think that would be the main question.
All right, now ask another one. So what's really inspired you?
It's inevitable to see what's happening, right? Like before we left for later, like convoys of tanks going through our town, and you're like, why is this happening? and to try to just talk about it in some way that was fun and interesting and compelling, not just like a very social film that would just make people not engage with it. So just to try to make a really compelling story that would maybe make you think about it. That was mainly the objective. And try to engage people and make them think about something, but mainly to try to engage.
Did you put the film up for Manhattan Short, the international short film competition?
No, I don't think we submitted that one.
It was hard because since we premiered at Tribeca, they won't let you. We were in, was it Rhode Island?
Yeah.
We had to like basically back out of some festivals because Tribeca didn't want us to. You have to premiere there. So you have to plan carefully which one. You plan meaning hopefully they'll accept you, but once you apply and if you get in, then you will have to say to some people.
Yeah, some
no.
festival would ask for the premiere status, and yeah, I don't think we did the Manhattan one. Just didn't come across.
We didn't.
Yeah, but you know, it'll happen. Like for example, when we went to BFI, they told us we were also in Rain Dance. So it was and they make you choose, which is
yeah.
Really,
They didn't want us to show in Rain Dance before London.
Yeah.
Has there been any other sort of, so have you managed to kind of travel around with the film?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's been great. Yeah.
So I don't know, have there been any like kind of best spots or any like, interesting stories or people you've met or?
Well,
We actually, one of
met
our
a
friends
friend.
is here. Yeah, there he is. There he is. We met him in Tribeca. Yeah.
and then it's fun how.
Tribeca was super. Evan came and Stuart came, and it was just so much fun. It was the first time in my life I went to New York.
Yeah, me too.
So it was just, you know, I felt like at first it was kind of confusing, but then after a few drinks it all leveled out very quick.
I hear that you yourself have Scottish roots. Is this?
Yes, my father is Scottish. He's from Wick, from Caithness. And yeah, very proud and very happy to be here. I feel like half of my DNA belongs here because I actually enjoy the you arrive and it seems, I'm from Mexico and not a lot of people in Mexico are called Gareth. So you feel very welcome when people don't ask, when people go, you know, what's your name? And you go Gareth and they go, okay. You feel very, very welcome. You're like, okay, this is I could get
Not
used to
called
that.
Gareth in Mexico, he's called Gareth.
My mom can't pronounce my name. I wish my dad was here so I could thank him for that. But no, very proud.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
You know, about a year ago, there had been a disappearing of about 40 students.
43.
43. What has been told recently about the reason for all those young students to disappear like that? I mean, have they really spotted the real reason?
They're dead.
Yeah, but why? Is it linked to drugs or something different?
It's linked to everything. The answer to that question is which is a very good question, and it should be talked about. But it's such a long answer. It's mixed with so many things.
It's political.
It's political. It is economic. It is related to the cartels. It is related to corruption. It is related to government, and it is just basically it's basically the great indicator. Not to get super downer with the conversation, but it's the great indicator of the travesty that is the Mexican government. That's what it is, and it's 43 people that just are gone. Connor, you had a question?
I was going to ask how our baby's made, but I just wanted to leave that.
We have a handbook out there.
Yeah, and on that note, I think obviously it is such a not on that note. Freeze that. We'll edit that bit out. Yeah, on that note, like obviously it is great to have a film like this that kind of begins to get people to find a way to sort of work through kind of fairly horrific things that are sort of happening every day. So thank you for that. I guess we're going to round it off there. We're going to be heading over to the Royal Dick Bar. If anyone has any further questions, not to sort of have you hounded with questions the rest of the night. And just to let everyone know, tomorrow night is the Caribbean film night, so there's still tickets available for that if you want to join us for that. come inside and sort of pretend like you're in the warmth while it's blustering outside. And yeah, thank you to everyone. Thanks to Paul, and yeah, good night.